Hello YouTube and welcome to another review, and this time we have AIRFIX's World War II German Paratroopers 132 scale, or their correct title is Fallschrimjager. And this set came out probably the back end of the 70s. One of the more modern sets, but not really modern sets. And I remember having this set when I was a kid in 172 and 132, and this set directly transcends to both as a similar type of figure, unlike say the British Infantry AIRFIX did, British Paratroops AIRFIX did. Those ones don't transcend into 172, but this one does, and I think the American Paratroops do as well. Kicking off first, we've got the paratroops wearing their camouflage smocks, which I think came much later in the war. I think were normally a sort of drab olive green in sort of colour. This is probably a sort of later image, although they are being parachuted down, which didn't happen so much during the end of the war. Germans learnt a lot of lessons from Crete, where the British shot them as they were paratrooping down. They took heavy casualties there, and as a result Hitler withheld the use of paratroopers for that reason. Although the British lost Crete, it wasn't without heavy German losses. Although the Germans are the forerunners of parachute type warfare, they didn't have a massive success at it, but certainly very tough guys, and they gave the British and the Americans a few headaches. We can see from this artwork quite a lot going on. Looks like they're trying to take possession of something that looks very heated. I wouldn't be able to tell you what scenario that is. Like I say, they are wearing the later version of the uniform, so I would have no idea of where to place that. Front of box we have the usual actual size figure, and he's also painted up exactly how it is on the box. Side view there we have selection of the poses and the usual gubbins of no glue or paint included, one flying hour, and your usual warnings along the back. So I haven't really got too many issues with the artwork on this one. It's fairly decent. It's nothing amazing, but it's pretty good, if probably slightly inaccurate, but nowhere near as inaccurate as the British Infantry box. So what do we get? So we've got a nice back picture there of some painted models here. We've got a guy with a rifle shooting. We've got the paint codes. We've got an injured guy. He's obviously hurt himself in a parachute fall, or maybe could be just wounded in combat. And another guy here who's running, looking purposeful with his rifle. More clearer image of what you get in the box, which is always good, and I think that's a very good thing AIRFIX do. So you can pretty much see what you're getting, and there are some pretty good poses in this, and obviously you get a lot more poses. Again, it's like the American Paratrooper one, you're getting lots of poses. Again, I think as a kid I remember the 1980s issue box, and I think I had more figures in it than this one. And I also had the 172, and that was a great set as well. So without further ado, let's have a look. So they come in quite a nice shiny sort of blue plastic, which is actually quite good. When I remember these, when I had them, it was quite a dull plastic. Nothing wrong with that, but it was quite flexible. This again is quite brittle, so all the plastic used in these sets I've reviewed, it's quite brittle, so just bear that in point. So this is the officer there, he's obviously saying hold on, or he's signalling. Nice pair of binoculars, fabulous detail, all very visible, nice neck scarf there. He's got his MP40 magazine casing, and there's his MP40 there, very clear, no mistaking that is an MP40. Not the greatest model in the world, but it is an MP40. Belt, and you can see there's his schmocks, or his paratroop jacket, just coming below his backside there. So very nice, and his lovely paratrooper's helmet, full lace-up boots. I think they actually went a bit higher than that, but c'est la vie, you can't have everything. Nice model. So yeah, so that's him. I'm not seeing injector pin marks, so very nice. Right, now we have, this guy's got his I would imagine it'll be an MG42. That's what we'll have to see. It is. Now I remember when I was a kid, this actually came, the set came with a bipod, which was a separate piece, and you would just, it would have a hole in it, and you'd push that on, and he would literally lay down there, and there'd be a bipod. This has not got that. You can see there, it makes it look like the bipod is folded, but I know for a fact the original set did have a bipod for this guy, so the new sets do not contain that, so don't think you're going to get it, you're not. I mean, it was never the most amazing sort of model of guy with an MG42, but it's certainly, it's enough. Nothing wrong with it in any shape or form. He's got his water bottle there. Not a lot going on underneath. Let's just have a look, see if we can do that. It can just about make his face. He looks a bit flat here, but you're not too bothered about the underneath really, you don't get to see it. So yeah, that's not a bad one, not too bad. This one here was always quite a nice one, I thought. Gives the impression of motion, and he's on the, how does he sit? So he used to sit like that, that's how I remember. He's not sitting so well, probably have to get this flash off. Yeah, let's get that off. Yeah, that's how I remember he used to. And like I say, you're going to lose that grenade if you don't look after them, because the plastic's just so brittle. That'll go. But nice figure, you can quite clearly see that's an MP40 again. Small injector pin mark there, nothing too major. Nice set of magazines for his MP40. His water bottle. Nice creasing in the jacket and the trousers, and his German style hand grenade. And yeah, there's a little bit of detail there. So yeah, not too bad. And obviously you can paint the eagle on. A lot of them had the eagle on the left breast here, or his right. There'd be a Luftwaffe eagle on there, so you can certainly paint that on if you so wish. And this guy was always a favourite of mine, especially in 172, because I think I had a few of them. He's got lots of sort of, I'll call them, it's that banded weapon pouches, which he's got quite a lot of for his rifle magazines, obviously. His rifle bullets. It's got plenty going on there. I wouldn't say it's as clear as how I remember it, but it's there. still nicely detailed, and this guy has a real good sense of motion. He's got his bayonet already on, and the bayonets come out very cleanly, unlike I think the British Paratroopers where the bayonet was just a disaster. Yep, and you can see there his pouch is just running past his neck, so that's quite realistic as well. I think that's quite how they wore those. Bayonet holder just there, a bit flashy but nothing serious. Injector pin mark there, flashy on his knee but nothing major. Helmet's a little bit flashy, and like I say, this was the back end of the 70s this set came out, so it's not going to be as sharp as the British infantry set, which just reviewed, but it's still pretty good. Now here we have the guy who's about to club someone with his rifle. So obviously this guy, you wouldn't want too many of them in your set. So if you had, you know, where it says you know, pose amounts may vary, you wouldn't want too many of this guy in your box. But still, it's a fairly strange pose, just the way he's holding the rifle. It's quite low down, but you know, in the heat of battle, you know, God knows he'd use anything, you know. It's still a nice model. Yeah, he's got his little bullet pouches for his rifle there. Enough detail on his face. Nice sculpt of the rifle. Quite like that. Quite like that, but like I say, one's enough. And I think when I had the 172 set, I think I had a few of those, which was rather annoying. But that was back in the day. So this one's always been a nice favourite of mine. He's obviously just walking along, either on patrol or, you know, he's just getting his way back from a parachute drop, and he's got his standard rifle there, which would be a Mauser. He's got his bullet pouches there, so it's all visible. And like I say, you wouldn't see it on this one, but he'd have his Luftwaffe eagle here. And obviously on the helmet as well, you'd have a slight Luftwaffe eagle as well. And often as well, there's markings on the sleeve. So, I mean, there's plenty of detail you can add to these. And the mould just goes a little bit awry there, so, but you can't help that. So yeah, very flashy on the helmet. So in terms of flash, this set's, you know, has got a bit of flash. Let's put him over there. And here's our poor unfortunate chap who's obviously had a fall, or he's been wounded in action. And yeah, and like I say, you wouldn't want too many of this chap either, so worth bearing in mind. I think you'd be unfortunate to get 2 of those or 3 in your pack. So another nice one here, you know, given a good idea of motion, this one, and you know, it looks great. He's got his ammunition pouches there. He'll look great with the eagle on the side of his helmet. You could even give him a couple of NCO markings on there. You might, if you're lucky, just see his eagle if you painted that on. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, MP40. Not so much flash on this guy. He looks good. Injector pin mark there. Looks good. Stand quite well as well, just like the British. And here we go here. So this is another chap here. So he's taken a well-aimed shot with his MP40. It's quite a nice one. I see lots of poses with this set. It's I'm not shy on poses. Nice magazines. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. And yeah, I always remember this chap. So as with all the radio operators in the AIRFIX set, I mean, there's nothing too fancy with the radio. It's bare bones, but I mean, you know fine it's a radio. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, quite like that. You can just about see his headphones set under his helmet. Yeah, that's quite nice. So like I say, Italy, these guys certainly served with great effect. And that's probably where you probably use the camouflage version of the paint guide. So that would be Italy. But I would doubt it would be Crete, but I could be wrong. Here we go there. This guy's just sort of more or less gently running along. Pretty similar to the British infantry runner, with just some slight differences, but you know, in terms of equipment and everything, but it's very similar to the British infantryman that I reviewed on the other one. There's his bayonet, water bottle, scarf. Yeah, does the job. Good detailing on the weapon. Yeah. And yet again, another guy with an MP40. This time he's putting in a good squirt at someone. MP40 weapons pouch there, bottle, limited equipment again, but they're nice models. Nice models. Not a lot to say once there's a bit of equipment missing, but gives you a good idea of what you're getting. A flash again on the top and a bit of a mould line. Nice creases on the trouser. Check the pin mark. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So yet again another one with an MP40. I've already got one who's taking a good old shot at something, and this one he's got his weapon lowered and he's probably just having a little bit of a rest, seeking out his next target. Yet again, really nice weapons pouches on there, quite well detailed. His water bottle, checked a pin mark just there but barely visible. Very nice. Last but not least, we have the Rifleman. He's taking a well aimed shot. I always like to flip them up and just see what's going on underneath. Bayonet, water bottle, ammunition pouches for his rifle. Clearly see the end of his smock, and it's a nice picture of someone taking a shot. Nice sculpt. But yeah, very, yeah, it's a decent set, very decent set for a Paratroop set. And like I say, just a couple of things that are different from when I remember. Obviously there was more figures, and you have the bipod missing for the MG42 or MG37, whatever. Pickles your fancy. So that was the German Fallschrimjager, or as we British call them, German paratroops. Quite a good set, and like I say, I had these in 132 and 172, and I was more than happy with them. So that was the AIRFIX 132 scale World War II German paratroops. So thank you for watching again, and we'll see you soon. Bye.